Hi guys, welcome to our channel PK Transcourse Guides, History and Civics SSC Class 10 Notes, Chapter 1st, First War of Independence, 1857. I am giving the overall view of my notes just at the beginning. Topics are causes for the First War of Independence. Subtopics included political causes, policy of expansion, subsidiary aliens, doctrine of lapse, protest of allied misrule, disrespect shown to Bahadur Shah Jafar, treatment with Nana Sahib and Rani Lakshmibai. Now we have socio-religious causes, interference in social customs, policy of racial discrimination, introduction of modern innovation, fear regarding Western education. The third topic, the economic causes, exploitation of economic resources, drain of wealth, decay of cottage industry, inhuman treatment to indigo cultivator. Fourth is military causes, ill treatment of Indian soldiers, General Service Enlistment Act, bleak prospect of promotion, faulty distribution of troops. Now the second last, the consequences of First War of Independence, which included subtopics end of company rule, Mughal and Peshawar, relation between princely states, policy of divide and rule, and the last economic exploitation. Now let us see the notes. Moving ahead with the video, let's see the syllabus on the screen. The first war of independence or the causes are to be mentioned. The second part we have already discussed. Let's see the notes. Although all the words are quite clear, but I'm repeating it for you so that you may understand it in a proper way. So let's start. The first war of independence was started in 1857 against the wrong policies of the British economic exploitation and the policy of expansion. In this war, soldiers and peasants and artisans took active part. The culmination of opposition to the British rule in 1857 came to be known as the First War of Independence. Now let's see the second topic, what is the causes for the First War of Independence. The first one is the political causes, and its subtopic is policy of expansion. British established East India Company for trading, but when they saw that politically Indians are not united, British started their policy of expansion. And let's see the next page. Now see, they fought Battle of Buxar 1764 and captured a part of Bengal, Bihar and Orissa. British used the four ways to expand their political powers. First, by outright wars. Second, by subsidiary alliance. Third, by using the policy of doctrine of lapse. Fourth, under pretext of alleged misrule. British annexed the part of Punjab, Mysore, Sindh, Assam, etc. Now first topic or subtopic, sorry, subsidiary alliance. It was introduced by Lord Wellesley. Under the system, the Indian rulers were agreed to accept the British as a superpower. They would not enter into any alliance. Rulers had to maintain the British army at their own cost. Indirectly, Indian rulers lost their independence. Now, the second subtopic we have doctrine of lapse. It was a policy introduced by Dalhousie. Now, let's see the next page. According to this doctrine, adopted here were not allowed to inherit the property of the deceased ruler. British captured the Jaipur, Sambhalpur, Satara, Udaipur and Nagpur. Third subtopic we have under pretext of alleged misrule. In 1856, Dalhousie annexed Awadh on the ground of misrule. Lord Dalhousie justified that the annexation of Awadh is for the good governance. After the annexation, people of Awadh had to face many difficulties. People had to pay high taxes on their land, houses, etc. Many nobles, officials became unemployed. Nawab of Awadh's army was dissolved. Soldiers had to pay heavy taxes on the land their families held in Awadh. This resented the people of Awadh. Now let's see the next page. Now we see the B part, disrespect shown to Bahadur Shah Jafar. He was the last Mughal ruler and was under the protection of company and received pension from the British. In 1849, Lord Dalhousie announced that the successors would not be allowed to use the Red Fort. Successors would not use the titles with their name. This action hurts the Muslim community and they went against the British. And now the third subtopic we have treatment with Nana Sahib and Rani Lakshmibai. Nana Sahib was the adopted son of Baji Rao II. The British refused to give pension to Nana Sahib and he was forced to live at Kanpur. Nana Sahib had some inherited wealth. which he utilized to create awareness among the Indians against the British. Rani Lakshmibai had an adopted son who was not accepted as the heir of, let's see the next page, as the heir of throne, and at last her property was annexed by the British. Now we have seen the first causes, the political causes. Now the second, socio-religious causes. The British government interfered in the social and religious life of Indians. British wanted to improve the condition of the people and they made many reforms like abolition of sati system, remarriage act, education for the girl, but it was not welcomed by the Indians. Now it contains several subtopics. The first one is interference in social customs. British attacked the religious belief of Indians. They refused to idol worship and said God is one. They attacked to superstitions also. The second is policy of racial discrimination. The British were rude and arrogant toward the Indians and believed um, that they were superior than Indians. They said that Muslims are unfaithful and cruel to them. They ill-treated all the community in India. Third, introduction of modern innovation. British introduced the railways and telegraph lines, but there was rumor that telegraph poles were to hang the Indians, and the railway system, the higher caste and lower caste people would sit made side by side and thought that British are trying to defy their caste and religion. देखिए फ्रेंड्स, क्वेश्चन काफ़ी बार 20 नोट्स के 20 से ही पूछे गए हैं, तो मेक श्योर दैट you have gone thoroughly through the notes. It can be asked here that what are those reforms made by the British and what are the rumors of Indians regarding telegraph poles, lines, or railway system. Then you have to answer that the Indians thought that telegraph poles were placed just to hang them on, and the railway system are to defy their caste. That is to differentiate the higher caste and lower caste among those Indians. So they did not accept those reforms. ठीक है, तो हम लोग अब next देखते हैं the fourth subtopic. Now we have the fourth fear regarding the Western education. English classes were established in many schools of Bengal, which was not received by the people. Education was given to Muslims and Pandit in Mandir and Gurukul. They thought that the British are encouraging their children to become Christian. Now we have seen the two causes. पहले हम लोगों ने देखा political causes, फिर socio religious causes. उनके सब टॉपिक जाने. अब हम लोग को जानना है economic causes. The economic exploitation took in the following form. First, exploitation of economic resources. Indians were forced to export raw material like cotton, silk, indigo, and tea and fruit grains at cheaper rate. Indians were forced to buy ready-made goods from the market. Second is drain of wealth. First, exploitation of economic resources था. अब second सब topic है drain of wealth. The transfer of wealth from India to England, for which India got no economic return, called drain of wealth. In the beginning, European trades used to bring gold to buy cotton and silk. But after the Battle of Plassey, British stopped getting gold in India. Indian wealth was used to purchase military goods, maintenance of office, and salary to British. Third subtopic, decay of cottage industry. British destroyed the Indian industries by putting heavy duties on Indian goods. On the other hand, British goods were imported on nominal duty or nominal rates. Now see the next page. As a result, many artisans become poor or unemployed. Now, our fourth subtopic is inhuman treatment to indigo cultivators. The peasants were forced to cultivate indigo in place of food grain. If they planted anything except the indigo, they had to pay something for that. Else, their crops were destroyed and their cattle were carried off as a punishment. Now, fourth causes and military causes. Subtopic are first, ill treatment of Indian soldiers. Indian soldiers were poorly paid, treated badly. Soldiers were not allowed to wear sectarian marks like beards or turban. They showed disrespect to Indian soldiers. As a result, soldiers were ready to take revenge from British. The second subtopic is जनरल सर्विस enlistment एक्ट. ये काफ़ी ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है, हमेशा पूछा गया है. इसका डेट याद रखना है और क्या है ये एक्ट. This act was passed by British Parliament in 1856. According to this act, Indian soldiers could be sent overseas on duty. This act was against the sentiment of Indian soldiers. Now we have covered two subtopics. Now the third subtopic on next page. Bleak prospect of promotion. All the higher rank were reserved for the British. Indian soldiers could not rise. Not missing a note कर लीजिएगा. Indian soldiers could not rise alone the rank of above the rank of Subedar. Fourth subtopic is faulty distribution of troops. On the strategic place like Delhi, Allahabad had no British army. In these places, Indian soldiers were placed. They were loyal to British government. I remind you, my friends, that your syllabus only mentioned the 4 different causes which you have studied, which you have seen in my notes. It does not mention the consequences of first war of independence, but it's quite necessary. It will be quite informative for your examination. So let us discuss about it. Uprising of 1857 brought the following step effects. First, end of company's rule. Uprising of 1857 ended the East India Company's rule. Now several different points are there. First point, the power of East India Company was transferred to the British Crown. Second, the power of Director of East India Company was controlled by the Secretary of State. Third, the Secretary of State was responsible to British Parliament. Fourth, the Secretary had a council of 15 members. Fifth, the salaries and allowance of Secretary were paid by Revenue of India. And sixth, the Governor General got the title of Viceroy. Now second part, we are having a second part, that is the end of Mughal and Peshawar. With the death of Bahadur Shah Zafar, Mughal dynasty came to an end. Nana Sahib was the last Peshwa who fled to Nepal after the death of Bajirao II. In this way, the dynasty of Peshawar came to an end. Now, the third topic is, you can say, the relation between princely states. British announced that policy of annexation. British announced that first part, the policy of annexation and doctrine of lapse would not be applied on them. Next, the princely states would help in suppressing a revolt, and after which we have the last point, adopted here would be respected. Next, the next subtopic is the policy of divide and rule. British used the policy of divide and rule against people by turning princes against the people, province against province, caste against caste, and Hindu against Muslim. British create differences against the educated Indians by giving them services. British increased hatred among the Indians and Muslims so that they could not challenge the British rule. Now the next subtopic we have, that British made the following changes in army after the uprising of 1857. This is the most common question, so I recommend you to write it down in your copy. So the first point here we have, European army were kept at key position. Some more points are also given on next page. Let us discuss that. Second point is that decrease the number of Indian soldiers and increase the European army. And the third point, the arms and weapons were never placed under the charge of Indian soldiers. After which we have the fourth point, the recruitment appointment was done on the basis of caste, religion and region. After which we have the newspaper and other publications were prevented from reaching the soldiers. And the last point, Indian soldiers never got the high post. These few points are very much important for examination. So the last topic we have is economic exploitation. After the uprising of 1857, British exploited the economy of India in the following manner. British took all the raw material from India and export finished goods. The next, salaries to the British officers were paid by the Indian revenue. Peasant farmers were forced to cultivate indigo in place of food grain. Now we have completed our notes, that is of first war of independence. Sorry friends for not uploading it earlier, as it was too lengthy and it took some time for us to frame it out for you, and in a better way, in a more effective way, and it's quite lengthy also. So our first unit, that is the Indian National Movement, which included the three chapters: the first War of Independence, the factor leading to growth of nationalism, which further includes the first phase of Indian National Congress, foundation of the Indian National Congress, second phase of Indian National Congress, and after this we have the Muslim League. Was one chapter was left, that is second phase of Indian National Congress. We will see its notes in the next video. Till then, I would like to say that if you like this video, then please comment it down and share and subscribe. Thank you.